have been living in a country that has denied me basic stability, which can absolutely impact your health. You all know what I'm talking about if you've ever lost a job. Hi everyone, it is 2025. I hope that your year is off to a good start already. I'm choosing joy this year. I refuse to be taken down the road of cray-cray and confusion and fear. So my New Year's resolution, I don't usually have them, but I'm gonna give myself one this year, which is to guard my heart and my mind and only watch a tiny bit of news, just what I need to know, just to be prepared for things, but I'm not going to get caught up in the drama because it affects our health. So I hope that you are going to do the same for yourself, protect what's going in here and what's going in here. I just started my channel and I'm trying to get the hang of lighting. I clearly need a ring light. I've got the flashlight on here. I don't think that I don't know, I think that's better than it being dark, but it's a little weird. So one of the questions that I've gotten recently is about my current work status as far as my visa is concerned, because of the fact that I am currently unemployed. So I got laid off, and again, I'm laughing, I'm choosing joy because I'm not going to let them get to me. I'm not letting the capitalist, greedy bastards get to me. But that's another story. For another time, I'm going to do a deep dive on that. Because just in case you are interested in knowing, in Europe and in every other developed nation in the world, they do not offer people at will employment. That is not the standard. The standard is a permanent job contract where they have to give them notice, where they have to give them severance, where there has to be a legal reason for that person to be fired, and all of that, if they have to let them go due to, let's say the company's going bankrupt or something, it's a very respectful, it's a very dignified way of letting them go. It's nothing like we experience in the US. We are the only ones that experience that, you guys. No one else does. And every time I talk to people here, and I meet people from all over the world, because Split is a very trendy spot for tourists. So when I go out for a walk, I'll meet people, I'll start talking to them. People from South Korea, from Belgium, from China. They all want to know why I'm living here. They want to know, what makes me want to stay here, And when I tell them some of the things, and then I tell them my situation, I'm always like, well, I came here, I was working remotely, and, I now whatever. And they all look at me like they're completely shocked. And they're like, what do you mean you don't have permanent job contracts? It's the same, no matter what country people are from. They give me the same look. Like, what else is there but a permanent job contract? What do you have then? And then I explain, and then they all go, oh, that sounds very American. When I explain the at-will employment agreement that the majority of us in the U.S. sign, that says, we can fire you at any time for any reason without any notice, and we don't need to give you severance. And then they always do that as some sort of a bonus, like we're supposed to be so grateful because they know we get the shortest amount of unemployment benefits. I don't know if you know that too. I've done a deep dive on this, y'all. That's why I'm trying to smile and laugh it off, because I went through some serious rage when I realized that I have been living in a country that has denied me basic stability, which can absolutely impact your health. You all know what I'm talking about if you've ever lost a job, or just the idea of knowing that nobody can pull the rug out from under you like that. And it happens to so many of us so often, depending on what sector of, the businesses you work in the US. So to see other people from all over the world completely shocked and disgusted and confused. And I think they're confused because they don't understand how we would put up with that. And they're like, what is that? But just to give you an idea, and I wasn't planning on talking about this, but it just goes into what I'm about to say. This is my uncut, candid, just me talking in bad lighting. um, when I applied for my digital nomad visa the first time, and I handed all of my documentation and sent it all over to my lawyer who was helping me here, he came back to me and said, "What is this?" And he was very nice, but he was like, "What is this?" And I said, "That's my job contract." And he said, "No, this isn't a job contract. It promises you nothing." He said, "I've never seen anything like this before." And I was taken aback, and I was thinking, what do you mean? That's all we get. Of course, if you're an IT person or something else, I talk about that in my video. This doesn't apply to you, but, I did my research, and it is very true, ladies and gentlemen. The U.S. is the only place in the world that does what it does to its employees. It's the only one. Gives you the least amount of stability and security with the least amount of social safety nets under you for when you're fired. The shortest unemployment benefits in any developed nation. So I'm going to be talking about that in another video because it needs to be discussed. It's woo, yeah. So needless to say, in my video, I was talking about the fact that I was told by my employers, the HR department had sent me an email confirming that I was good to stay another year, because even though they'd let me work remotely from home in Dallas, right? I mean, it was a big deal for them to let me work in another country, but because of the nature of what I did and because of the fact that I was a good employee, meaning I did my job, nobody had to micromanage me. So they trusted me and let me go to another country and work from there. And so I was doing that for 2 years, and we had said that every year I could ask to renew again. But they weren't keen on me staying here forever. That wasn't the plan. But in my mind, just so you know, in my mind, the plan was, okay, let me do 1 more year here working for this company. And while I'm working for them, so during 2024, I will be working on a way for me to do my own thing so that I can, separate from them. When it's good for me, when I have put all of my ducks in a row and I have prepared and put some money aside for that. That was the plan. And so I asked HR in January. I basically said, hey, I want to apply again for my visa, which is going to be, I'm going to renew it in whatever, coming up soon, and etc. Is that okay for me to stay another year? Because they knew that I was here for my health and they knew that I was improving. And so I got the approval, and then corporate shareholders did their thing. So they pulled the rug out from under me, and 60 days later I was unemployed in another country. So I, like everyone else in the job market, have been spending hours applying to apparently a lot of ghost jobs and submitting my resume into AI cyberspace because, there's absolutely no tangible evidence that most of your stuff is going anywhere, So after losing jobs through COVID, this is the second job that I lost since 2020, y'all. And I'm tired of it. And I'm done. And before that, I had to leave my career. Like, I personally had to walk away because I couldn't physically do it anymore. So it's just been career transition. So I've decided I'm not going back. I'm not working for corporate America anymore. So to answer the question of how does being unemployed affect your visa, I would say that it's going to be different for every country, but I'm going to say that I don't think anyone tells the local government their situation. I don't think anyone's going to volunteer that information. I mean, there's no way for them to find out except unless they go and watch my video or anybody else's video who shares that information, As long as you are not trying to work here and take a job here, it's not anything that they're going to come and say you can't stay, because any day now I could get another job online, and be working online. There are a few platforms that native English speakers can teach on without having any of the credentials they all say that you need. I found that out from someone in Europe, and then I've gone into Reddit forums and asked about it. Now, you're not going to be making the kind of money, to support yourself like you would if you had a regular 40-hour-a-week job with, US income kind of thing. But this is all the kind of thing that you can do because it's basically something you're doing online. As long as you're using your computer to make that money, it shouldn't impact your visa. So the question was, what have I done? Like, how am I remedying this situation with being unemployed? And I have decided that I am going to be working for myself. It was already the plan, as I was saying. I was just hoping to have a year of, income coming in where I could put that aside like we all like to do, plan. Can I just plan? Can y'all just let me plan and let me leave when I want to? So that was disrupted because immediately I had to start looking for work. And when you're looking for work and you're trying to figure everything out, you're not in the creative flow. But along the way, I decided I am going to be working for myself. Along with this channel, I am going to start my website for the sensitive traveler, and I'm going to be offering services. A lot of people, it's already happened organically. So people have reached out to me and asked me about questions about what they should be looking for when they get here. And one woman is actually coming here. So someone from the Exodus Summit group will be arriving in a couple of weeks. And she was asking a lot of questions and she wanted to rent an Airbnb. And I went and saw it for her. She's very sensitive. So she's traveling with chronic illness. And I thought, you know what? I just offered, I was like, let me go ahead and check it out. Let's make sure there's no mold, because I have experienced some things here when people told me there was no mold and there was mold. And so I don't want that to happen to any of you. So I did that, and it just made me realize, she's like, yeah, you could do that. And so I'm going to offer my services. It's like a concierge, boots on the ground service. I've seen other people do that in other countries. So people can book a call with me if they just want to ask me questions. I'll still be doing this, of course. And if there are those of you who want to join, we can do a Patreon thing where it's not very expensive, but we can do it off of YouTube so that we have our own community. If you want to ask questions about life in Europe, life in Croatia, if you want to ask questions about, traveling with chronic illness, where we can talk about it. Because I want it to be accessible to everyone. So not everybody's going to be able to afford to call me. Then I get that. So I want it, I'll do it in all the ways that I can, just to share the information. And I'm going to be writing my memoir about my experience with the mold. I have a lot in the works, but it's something that takes time. So as far as the actual remedy for money, it's just, I'm in a real serious bind. And one of you did say, don't be shy about asking and setting up a fundraiser. And you're right. But I've been shy about it. But yeah, I could definitely use your support. Absolutely.
If you'd like to support my channel, you can go to my About page and scroll down to one of the links here below. I truly appreciate your support. I'll also include some of the links in the description of this video as well.
I already have a business name that I've registered in the US many years ago because I used to work for myself as a dance teacher and choreographer and coach. And so I decided that whatever else I do, I'm just going to put it all under that as an umbrella. And yeah, I plan to have a few different channels. So I'll have this channel, and then I'm starting another channel soon called The Real Dance Expert, where I am going to be sharing a lot of information about what life was like back in the 90s as a backup dancer. I have so many stories, y'all. And I think right now we need, those of us who are Gen X, we need some good times, good vibes, good memories. If I worked with Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson's choreographers and dancers, and I've got stories. I almost got the Janet Jackson tour, y'all. That's a story in itself. Yeah, I had a private audition with Janet. Me and one other girl went in, and they were literally down to the wire. They'd already started rehearsals for the Janet Jackson tour. You know, the one where she wore the bandana? You remember that first tour when she came out? Those of you who are old enough, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I have a lot of stories that I want to share. I just want to bring up some good memories. I'm going to do some dance tutorials, and I'm going to be teaching dance online. So any of you who want to learn hip hop or jazz or lyrical dancing or anything, tap, musical theater, I did it all. And if you want to learn from a professional dancer who danced in a lot of music videos, just for fun, you know, I want everyone to have the opportunity to express joy. And I know there are a lot of fans still watching some videos that I was in, that my friends were in, that my friends choreographed. And I thought it would be fun for people to learn some of those moves. Let me know what you think in the comments, y'all. I hope you have a great day wherever you are in the world. Take care.